On December 4th, 1915, American industrialist Henry Ford set sail from Hoboken, New Jersey. Ford had dipped into his enormous fortune to charter the ship himself and recruited an impressive group of influential reformers and peace activists to join him on an urgent mission: to travel to Europe and convince its leaders to end the war that had been ravaging the continent for more than a year.
The peace movement had a pragmatic perspective on avoiding war, because war was futile, it was unnecessary, it was messy. It wasn't part of the ideal of how the world should unfold.
The argument being that peace was far more profitable for business than war. And in fact, that argument had a lot of legs.
Ford and his companions sailed out of New York Harbor that day, optimistic that this kind of pragmatic argument could persuade Europe's leaders to trade war for peace. But by the time their ship reached its final port, Ford was no longer aboard. After learning that none of the warring governments would even agree to meet with his envoys, Ford had jumped ship in Norway and headed for home, leaving his peace recruits to go on with their difficult mission on their own.
They had to stop war somehow. They had to, before it destroyed civilization.
They would fail, just as every other effort to preserve or restore peace in Europe had failed before them. But their failure would inspire a new generation of activists to take a more radical approach to the pursuit of peace.
In order to oppose war, in order to oppose violence, you have to be active in your opposition. You have to be willing to put yourself on the line to say no and oppose war and oppose violence and oppose injustice.
These idealistic opponents of war would create a new movement, a movement dedicated not just to fighting war, but to waging peace.